Giles Thomas from muscleevent.com, here the day after the San Marino Pro. Now this is a bit of a special one because yesterday a very good friend of mine, Patrick Tour, a very well-known coach in Europe, prepped a young guy called Rafael Brandao from Brazil. Now this kid really shocked me. He's 24 years old and clearly has what it takes to really go to the very top of the sport. So I thought I'd get Patrick in, ask him a few questions and put a special video together for muscle development and get the lowdown on this new talent. So Patrick, thanks for joining us. When did you first start working with Rafael?
Started working with Rafael in 2015 for his Brazilian championships, where he won the overall, and then we went on 5 weeks later to the South American championships, where he won overall again, got his pro card as a junior. When he was an open band class. Yeah. Now we've been working for a little over a year for preparing for his pro debut here in San Marino, which I wanted to be in San Marino because I wanted to be here with him, and I know it's a great show to start your career off if you can bring what it takes. So I think everything went pretty well.
Yeah. Now, Rafael was in the first call-out. Now I was hoping that Rafael would, I said, look, if he makes top 10, that is a huge achievement. I said, it's his first pro show, there's some big names, Cedric McMillan, Hadi Chupin, Brandon Curry. This is not going to be an easy show. There's 26 competitors in it. Now, he was in that first call-out. How did you feel when you got that first call-out?
Well, actually, I was in Brazil for a month before, and I saw Rafael a lot of times, and that's what I kept telling him. I said, look, our objective is to be called in the first call. That's a sign that they like you. That's a sign that you bring what they want to see. If Steve Weinberger asks you to show him in the top 5 with the type of lineup that was there, I mean, there was a lot of good guys behind Rafael. That's your shot. That's your opportunity. Show him. Show what you got. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. Rafael wasn't the first call out. And then he kind of...
With the first call-out, there was, what, 5 guys in the first call-out?
It was Cedric McMillan, Brandon Curry, Hadi Chupin, the guy from Germany, Tim Bundesan, incredible young athlete.
Another young guy who's probably only a few years outside the juniors.
Condition was amazing. I mean, really bright future. And Rafael. And there was guys out of the call-out like Esau and Peter Clancy. I mean, you know, top names.
Clancy got 7th at the Arnold Europe. You've got Issa Obeid, who's won pro shows. So the crowd was going crazy because you had him and Tim Bundesan, 2 young guys, really good up and comers. To be in that first call out, I mean, it had the audience going crazy.
Yeah, the problem is when you've got that chance, you're there for the first time. You need to do more than just poses. You need to do more than just a right front of a bicep. You need to do more than just a side chest. You need to show what you got, and that's what I've been telling Rafael. Show more. You know, bring a little more to the stage, bring a little charisma to the stage, show those fibers, push on those muscles, and he did not do that. He just was standing there.
We spoke last night, and you obviously it was fresh after the show, and you were obviously getting very involved with your athletes, and it's you get very attached to these competitors. You know, maybe kind of reliving your own kind of bodybuilding, so you know what it's like. And you were really irate, like, why didn't I? Was like, oh, Rafael did fantastic, and Patrick was like, no, he didn't present himself the way I wanted him. He can do better. And I said, well, look, he's 24 years old. I said, when Rosie did the first Olympia, it was like a rabbit in the headlights. I said, it must be so overwhelming. He's gone from being a junior to within a year standing on stage, getting call-outs with guys that like Cedric McMillan, who he said is one of his favourites. I mean, it must be, you're up there with your heroes standing shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, I agree with you. The problem is you're a pro. You accept that pro card. You're getting paid for your job. And there's no excuses. If you're 24 or 44, it doesn't matter. You have learned your job. So when you step on that stage and you get that chance, I don't care how much experience you have. It's just a matter of showing that. We've gone through so much. The prep is so hard. You go through, so many difficult times through the prep that those 2 minutes time, you have to be a warrior. You have to show, and he knows. And as a coach, the most frustrating thing is knowing that there are things there that have not been shown. Knowing that he can show some things and only do it 80%. That's the most frustrating thing, is knowing that your product, in that case, is not being shown the way it really is. And that's frustrating.
But surely, I mean, he's off to a great start. I mean, he's bringing fantastic conditioning. He's got beautiful symmetry. It's funny because I first saw him on Rafael on your social media newsfeed, and for some reason I thought he was short. I thought he might be like a 212 almost, because he's not huge. But I thought maybe he's about 5'7". I thought maybe he will do 212. So when I met him, and I thought he was 26, and you says no, he's 24 and he's 6 foot tall. And I was like, whoa, that guy's got beautiful wide shoulders, a tiny waist, he can do a vacuum. I said he's got some of the craziest quads I've ever seen, because you see plenty of big legs, but you don't see that real etched in, striated detail. So I can see why...
We should get a show in there.
Yeah, so, I mean, he got 8th place, which I was a bit surprised by. I was speaking to one of the shadow judges behind me, and they heard me shouting for Rafael, and they said, I said, so where have you got the number 2? Number 2, yeah. I said, where have you got number 2? And he said, I've got him 5th place. I was like, yeah, I'm hoping 5th, because he was in the first call out. I knew him and Tim were going to be, Tim Shine were going to be doing well. But yeah, it was fantastic to see, but it's always great to see the new faces, especially when you can see, and I'm extra excited because he's got you. He's not going to be someone, I don't think in 2 years' time is going to go, oh, that guy was great when he started, but now he's put on to a side, the waistline's gone. I honestly thought, so I feel very confident that he's in your hands, because I know that you're just going to do nothing crazy. I mean, when I met him up close, he's very healthy. He looks like a men's physique. He looks like almost like he looks 24. I mean, he's not one of these guys who's 24 but looks 44, Yeah, so I'm just really glad he's in your hands, Patrick.
But you know me, you've been knowing me for a year. You've seen how many young kids I follow, young guys, not kids, sorry. And you know what I think. I think long term. Like, this is bodybuilding is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And when you've got such a great potential, the only thing you can do is really take care of that. I mean, and don't expect to win the next show you do. Show what you've got, improve show after show, and your time will come. Don't pretend too much too soon. Anybody can put on 5-10 pounds of muscle in a couple of months. That's no problem. The problem is, it's not going to happen all your life. Yeah. And if you go too fast, you lose control over your body. And the things you need to do that are going to compromise your future progress. So take it in strides, go slow, and respect your body's ability to grow.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got guys like Cedric McMillan and Flexlers, the guys who have size but also have aesthetics. Now, these guys have put thought into their physique. They haven't just, we've seen some fantastic physiques that maybe as amateurs, and they turn pro and it all seems to go horribly wrong because they think, oh, if I've got to be that size, and it's, so, I mean, what did he weigh on stage?
Around between 240 and 245, around 110 kilos.
So he's not small, is he? He's not a small guy.
He's tall, he's wide, so that weight doesn't look like much. He needs 10-15 pounds more.
But he's got good aesthetics and he's got a good frame to build on. He kind of reminds me of that wide shoulder, almost like a kind of a Dennis Wolf with maybe even better balance. And he's got a really nice structure to build on. Okay, well, last of all, what's his next plans?
Next plan is stop everything. Rest at least 3-4 months.
Okay.
Keep training light, good nutrition, but letting his body recuperate from this long prep, and then probably gonna compete again. Maybe next summer, next fall.
Okay.
But do a little more shows. Do a show in the U.S. and bring an improved physique. Just little improvements, step by step, and within 2-3 years, I hope he's going to fight for that first place in a pro show. That's the plan. I
think he's top 10 Olympia within the next 2 years. I honestly think he's that good. And so we're going to be seeing him in stateside. So anyway, we've got to go anyway because our taxi's here. We've got to get to the airport. But I mean, Patrick, obviously, I'm just so glad he's with you, and it's I'm so excited for this kid for the future. With Patrick Tour, I'm Giles Thomas from muscledevelopment.com. Right, let's go.
just sugar-coated crazy. And everybody knows that you can save me, 'cause I like it. And I'm losing control, and I've half lost my soul, and I'm living in this limbo. I'm sugar-coated crazy. I'm sugar-coated crazy. And I'm living in this limbo. And I'm living in this limbo. It's like a battle between good and bad, living in this limbo. And there's nothing below, and there's nothing above, just sugar-coated crazy. So I open up my sweet box and choose my delight. It's time for me and the music to unite. It's sugar-coated crazy, but I like it. Don't try to save me, 'cause I like it. I'm sugar-coated crazy, sugar-coated crazy. And I like it, and I like it, and I like it. I'm sugar-coated crazy.